This is Marc Tobias in Tel Aviv with Tal Ater. Tal, you discovered a problem with Google Chrome with regard to voice recognition, and you've specialized in voice recognition software and research for quite a while and have built quite a library with regard to voice recognition. Tell me briefly what you discovered. There was a detailed article already a couple days ago, and you've essentially found a problem that would allow what I would call covert listening to people that are using a computer and potentially conversations around the computer. Tell me briefly, what's the problem? What did you discover?
Okay. Well, a lot of people don't know it, but your browser has speech recognition capabilities if you're using Google Chrome. And when you visit a site that uses speech recognition, it actually asks for your permission to use your microphone to analyze your voice. But what you may not realize is that once you give that permission, that site can store that permission indefinitely and use it later to listen to you again.
Okay, so tell me what that means.
That means that if you're visiting a site that may seem to be legitimate, that uses speech recognition to help you control the site or run searches or things like that, you give it permission, you speak to it, and then you turn off the mic, you leave that site, and everything seems fine. But if that site has malicious intents, it might have opened a hidden window in the background which you did not notice. And when you leave the main site, it can start recording what you say in the background window.
Now, when you say recording, this isn't a normal voice recorder. This is your digital audio that uploads to a site or to Google and then comes back essentially with a transcript. Am I understanding this correctly?
Yeah, the process is everything you say is being recorded by the browser, sent to Google, analyzed, and then a transcript of whatever you said is being sent back to the site that you visited.
Either in chunks or a full transcript?
Yes, either a full text or every time you pause it can send whatever you said so far, and then that site can save it, analyze it, find special keywords in it, take actions based on it, send it anywhere in the world. And
so, for example, a competitor, government, a law enforcement agency, the NSA, anybody that had access to that could have a printout, a searchable printout of you and anybody around your computer. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. I mean, that is a scary thing here. I mean, as long as your browser is still running, anything you say next to your computer can be recorded. I mean, you think you're giving permission for the speech recognition to a certain site to give it certain commands, like you would talk to your GPS and ask it for directions. But once you think you leave it and go back to having meetings in your office or having phone calls or talking on Skype, that site may still be listening, capturing anything you say and anyone who is in your office, and analyzing that and saving it.
So what about the sensitivity on laptop microphones versus the, I'll call it the sensitivity of the voice recognition software? How good is it?
Well, with my accent I've had some problems.
Yeah, of course.
But it's pretty good. I mean, it's always improving. The microphones and the technology is constantly improving. And Google's speech recognition technology is amazing. I mean, they don't just analyze it word by word, but they actually analyze the context of what you're saying, and with all their databases, and analyze how each word appears in the context and understands the meaning so it can understand it better.
Yeah, it's syntax.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, and what if there's more than one person speaking? Then I'm assuming that's a problem.
I don't think it will be. It won't be able to understand there are two different people and distinguish between the two. But as long as there's like clear pauses between each speaker, you'll be able to capture both parties.
So as a consumer, how do you protect yourself?
Well, be wary of what you do. I mean, the thing here is it's not a very sophisticated exploit. I mean, you're giving it permission to listen to you, which is fine. I mean, that's something we're going to be doing a lot of, and it's great. But you need to be aware when you give that permission to a site, does it use it for other things? You need to notice, did other pop-up windows or pop-under windows open behind your browser? And you need to do it anyway. I mean, there are advertisements opening all the time, and you need to watch out for those. Basically, just use common sense.
So, when you talked to Google about this, you actually notified them in September of this year, of 2013. So, they found the bug, they fixed it, but is it your understanding they haven't implemented the fix yet? What's the status?
Yeah, well, I followed they have guidelines for responsible disclosure of bugs, and I followed them. I informed them of the bug. It's actually several bugs. I informed them of them, created a demo video showing how it can be exploited. They analyzed it. They said that they did indeed find the problems, and they actually wrote and uploaded a code fixing it. I think it was like 5 or 6 days later after I posted it to them. They were very efficient. But then a month and a half passed, and nothing was fixed. The fix was not deployed to users. So I contacted them and asked them what was going on. And their response was that there are still ongoing discussions within the standards group about how to approach this, and nothing has been decided yet.
So how do you know that this hasn't been implemented? I mean, when was the last time you looked at Chrome to determine whether it was still vulnerable?
Just this morning.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
okay, well,
did.
thank you. So, and it's not just Chrome on laptops.
Any computer that uses Chrome and has a microphone. Yeah.
Okay, and so is the consumer, are you best off to turn off your microphone? The problem is that's not quite so easy, is it? As far as turning off the permission, because you have to find the permission to turn it off. Is that correct?
Yeah, but only once you've granted that permission. I mean,
right, obviously.
Don't grant that permission if you don't trust the site. But once you do grant that permission, there is a little, there's a camera icon within the location bar where the address of the site is. You just click it and you can deny access to that site. It's very easy, but it requires it requires the users to do
right,
it.
to do something.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you this. We use voice recognition software for dictation. Mm-hmm. Is there any interaction between that, for example, and Chrome and what Google's doing?
Well, as long as you're speaking next to your microphone, more than one application can listen to the microphone at a time. Both the dictation software and a malicious site could listen to it at the same time, and both could be recording things. And when you think you're writing something, it might be already published somewhere else.
So is there the potential that you could go on to a site that would put malware on your computer that would do the same thing that Chrome is doing? So let's say I'm logged into Internet Explorer or Safari. Is the potential the same for abuse?
Well, the technology isn't implemented yet in Safari or in in Internet Explorer. But once it is, I hope this publication would cause them to be a little more careful.
So it's just Chrome?
For now, yeah.
And because obviously speech recognition is being used in a lot of applications, with my phone, with my car, and it's only going to grow because it's easy, it's convenient, and it's becoming highly accurate.
Exactly. I mean, most people think, what I've discovered in the last few days is that most people don't even realize their browser has that capability, but it's becoming more and more common practice. And Google put speech recognition front and center. If you go to google.com, right in their search bar, you can see the little microphone icon. They're putting a lot of effort into bringing this into mainstream, which is why I publicize this, so it can be fixed.
Yeah, I mean, for example, in my email, I can dictate my email when I'm driving down the road. It's a lot easier than obviously typing, and while you're driving, you're not going to be typing.
Yeah.
And so that's all vulnerable, is what you're telling me.
If you're using Chrome, it might be.
Okay, so last question, do you perceive this as a significant threat as far as the potential to invade your privacy and for governments anywhere to use it?
Well, personally, I'm less worried about government using it and more about independent creative hackers taking this and using it to steal business secrets or eavesdrop on you. But yeah, as it gains in popularity, yeah, it's a significant risk.
Well, the problem is the government agencies, as have been revealed in the last 6 months, are exploiting these technological advances for very sophisticated electronic eavesdropping. So would this exploit, I'm assuming, would allow a government agency, if they wanted to use it, they could use it until it's fixed, or you don't grant the permission to turn on your microphone.
Yeah, theoretically it could be, but as you've said, they have access to very sophisticated things. I think what's very interesting about this exploit is that it doesn't require anything sophisticated. You don't have to put any malware on the user's computer. All you have to do is send him a website and have him authorize it, and you breach his computer.
So your kid could set up a website.
I'm less worried about your kid. I'm more about the grown-ups.
But I'm just using that as an illustration. So this doesn't take a lot of expertise to execute this.
I'm certainly no security expert, and if I could do it, then yeah, I'm sure a lot of people can do it.
Tal, have I missed asking you anything about this?
No, I mean, it's an exciting technology. I mean, I'm sure they're gonna fix it very soon, and I mean, it feels a little bit silly to talk to your computer now, but I'm sure it's something we'll all be doing very soon.
Yeah, but my computer never argues with me.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, it's Tal. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much.